Hey, what's up? It's Frank here from Data Driven, franksworld.com and impactquantum.com. You can check me out on all the social medias, or at least most of them, at Frank Diggs Data. And I am showing off my new desk. So I made a reward for myself once we sold the old house that I would get a new desk. The old desk setup was kind of this combination of various IKEA and other furniture I've acquired through the years. But I was like, you know what? I want to do this right. I want to set my office up just the way I want it. And boom, um, the monitors are not hooked up yet, but they soon will be. So one of the six monitor setup is a cool thing. Trust me, but the logistics of moving it is not as cool. But for the most part, I'm happy with the new desk. You can kind of see it's modern, clean looking. It's not as imposing as the old one. The old one had me feeling like at the end of the day, I was like in a cave, right? Because I had all these monitors around me, and I love monitors. But the way this is set up, it's a little more airy and kind of open. Um, so this here is going to be the docking station for the Mac, and this here is the main podcast editing rig, and behind me is the main video editing rig. I'm recording this now on my main work station, which is also a standing desk or a adjustable height desk. So there we go. There we go. I have to work on the height again to do the video. But yeah, so it was spent most of the weekend doing that. And if I'm not my usual chipper self, it's because I have been dealing with a sinus headache for the better part of a week now. So I'm like tired of getting a headache. Finally got the meds this weekend. Finally went to a doctor. So it's kind of better in the sense that it's less painful, but it still hurts. But with that, I figured I would show off my new little setup here. I got let me see if I can tilt the camera a bit. All right, I may regret that. I have my year planner over there. Um, Soon I'm going to hang up the big giant whiteboard, and yeah, so only got this computer set up right now. Just it's just a lot of wiring, and I want to do the wiring right because if I do it in a hurry, it's like anything else. You do it in a hurry, you end up making mistakes. But maybe if there's interest, let me know in the chat. I'll do like a full tour of kind of new Chateau Lavinia and kind of the setup now that my books are out of boxes, and got to set up the treadmill desk still. But other than that, and there's no room in this little area for it, so it won't be on the camera. But yeah, I'm excited about this new setup, and I am. Hang on, my wife is messaging me as I speak, but it's nice to have the multiple monitors back. It's really nice. I actually do have to pick up my youngest at the bus stop in a few minutes, and I'm going to go out. If you're wondering about this shirt, which Data is the new oil, you can check out Data Driven Store. Speaking of franksworld.com turned 27 last week, and that's how bad my sinus headache was. I was going to do a live stream and kind of a birthday stream, but for the most part, I was not camera presentable, all but for maybe like 10 minutes a day. Uh, but it was, and it's hard to imagine 27 years on the web. Like, it's just crazy. Like the amount of change that's happened. Someone, it was Rupesh, actually. Rupesh, he commented, "Wow, your website's older than me," which is a phrase I've never heard before. Imagine that. So, yeah, so 1995, October 13th, 1995, I uploaded a bunch of files. There was no hosting providers in the sense that we see them today, right? Azure wasn't a thing, AWS was not a thing, Amazon was around, but Jeff Bezos still drove his beat up old Honda, as he said in his book. And, you see that picture of online of, the spray painted, Amazon.com sign, like that was from 99, 98, 99. So this predates that. So it was an interesting take on, I'm going to do like a retrospective series, maybe LinkedIn posts or maybe a videos a video series, um, and kind of talk about, you know, the history of the web through the eyes of Frank Swold. I don't know. Let me know if you think that's interesting because, when it first started, it was so you had to get a dial-up provider, right? So kids probably don't know what that is today, but you had to get a dial-up provider, and most of them provided like a meg or a meg and a half of space you can upload your 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 files to. You could share it on the web, and you could pay extra to get more images and things like that. But at the time, kind of cloud connected storage was a premium. Now it's like super cheap. But what's interesting is that how that evolved over time. And then I signed up and I got a domain name about a year into it. So if you look up, on the Wayback Machine, you go to franksworld.com. I think um, the first entry is from 1996. But if you go to what the old URL was, and one of them was mars.superlink.net/daddy Mac. I don't know. But I think it's interesting that I was a big Mac user, a big Mac fan then, and here we are, 27 years later. I buy my first new Mac in decades. I'm not sure if I should count the used iMac that I got a couple of years back, but which I'm gonna see if I can make room for it on this desk. Who knows? But yeah, so hopefully you're having a great Monday. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to do more now that I have my calendar over there. I can do more, content planning and things like that, which is something I generally don't do. Generally, what you see is kind of, ad hoc, ad lib, which is a good skill to have, no doubt. But recently, I did a video presentation and I wrote a script in conjunction with some folks, and was able to record it, and they made it that much more impactful, which kind of sold me on the idea of doing scripts as opposed to, do ad hoc commentary and then editing it in post production. Obviously, in streaming, there really is no editing, but it definitely saved the post production time. So definitely look to see me do more of that in the future, and I'm looking forward to testing the capacities and the function of my M2 Mac, which so far I've been very pleased with. I only plugged it into the wall like once last week. Like the charge lasts that long. It was pretty crazy. So with that, I'm going to sign off and wish you a happy Monday. And let me know in the comments if there's any content you'd like me to cover.